Hello, assalamu alaikum, Maria. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Hina. I'm very well, and thank you for inviting me to your show.
Thank you so much for coming, for joining us. This is Cognitive Talk Podcast, and I welcome you here. Thank you so much for honoring our podcast with your presence and your precious time. I would love to know, although I know, but I would love to know from you, who is Maria?
First of all, Hina, I'm honored because you're sitting in Canada, I'm sitting in Pakistan, but we come from the same area, so know the challenges which women has been facing in that area as well. So and thank you for remembering me inviting me to your show because sometimes people forget about their roots, where they come from, what challenges they have faced, but just inviting some soul sisters coming from the same background, coming from the same area to your show to let your viewers know, what challenges actually not only Maria Iqbal Tarana, but the Hina Sadhusai also have faced.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what strengths Maria carry?
Um, Consistency, integrity, and discipline.
Wonderful. I've seen you consistent. I've seen you a
Thank
pacemaker,
you.
and I have seen
Thank
your
you.
struggle. We would love to know more about it, but I appreciate you're joining us in the Women Month, right? So this is a Women Month
Thank
podcast,
you.
and you have always been in my heart. You're my role model. I've seen resilience, and I learned resilience from you. And I remember the
Thank you,
march
darling.
you were in, and your tattoo. Can you show me?
You still have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
long live revolution.
yeah, revolution. So I know the revolution you're bringing, and I know the revolution going on in your heart every time. Um, I
Yeah.
appreciate your passion. I appreciate your drive. Can you tell us a bit about your background? How did you come here? Like, I mean, this is a journey. You started from from zero to the hero.
Yeah.
So what is the journey?
Thank you so much, Hina. I think it's a today I'm just not representing Maria Iqbal Tarana. It's a story of every Kashmiri woman. Actually, I'm representing you. I'm representing other women, who have followed our footsteps. And today, when they are somewhere, I think it's not only their success; it's our success. So that's how
Exactly.
actually I started my journey. So sometimes it's your own passion, your energy, but sometimes there's the people around you as well who always say just one little pat, that you're right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
let me start my story. It started at the age of 14, very early in my early teens, and where I faced injustice, and I came out of my, four walls of the house, and I thought, no, I can't face this injustice. There
Hmm.
must be somewhere, when I'm being heard, my family is being heard. So that's how it actually started. And today, when I look back, it's been almost 26, 27 years. Every little effort which I made at that time, it made me. It made a woman around me. It gave not only a courage to stay consistent. After 27 years, when somebody else comes up to me, and especially the young girls and the women, when they hear my story of struggle, and I am a bit down, so they say, no, there is no way back because you're a role model. So this is what's been kept me going, 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 because I knew that there's no way back. Once you out of your four walls, you are exposed to this big bad world. What only can you do is just to face every problem, every challenge with a grace. This is what I believe.
Wonderful.
Never compromise on
Wonderful.
your integrity, never compromise on your principles. Whatever life throws on you, it's for your own betterment because it makes you as a human being. And I knew it from a very early age. It's not just because I learned it from some book or somebody came and just told me that this is a prophecy word. No, it wasn't. It just, I think it is inside of us. If we are 8 billion people on this planet,
No doubt.
every person has their own traits, their own qualities. All we have to do is just to polish, exercise, stay in a discipline, and just face everything gracefully. That's it.
Mm.
That's make your story, that motivates you every day as well. Because when you look at your journey, you think, oh my God, that was me. Yes, that was me.
Yeah, and that makes your legacy, that makes your history, and like what wonders can that bring? Um, and
Yeah.
one tagline you presented, what you made that made you, right? I mean, what struggle you made, uh, that's Maria now. Like your hidden potential,
Okay.
like how you identified yourself, how you brought that out, how you polished yourself. I mean,
Mm.
this is your
Thank-
struggle. This is your, like
Yeah.
every challenge polished you. What I see,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like um, I know one thing in you, but uh, I would love to know from you that what one thing kept you moving on. Like one factor. I know there are many factors. But what's the one
Practice.
best
Yeah.
factor? X factor, you can say.
I think a hope and just differentiating between right and wrong, truth and a false. That's always have motivated me. That when you see injustice around you, there's always a hope as well. Because when you start saying wrong is wrong, right is right, truth is truth, and false is false. This is a very defined line. I
Mm,
think if the world today start practicing on that, I think then we can make this world much better for the coming generations. Actually, we are not exercising it every day in our daily life, so that's what creates a gap between the rich and the poor,
mm,
because between the justice and injustice, and whatever we see in our society these days. I think the challenges come from not following the path which actually the previous generations has left for us, because it's a human history of hundreds of years. What actually we
mm,
have learned from that history. People just, they've been writing books. We are living in a dot-com era. Everything is being provided on the internet. But
mm,
actually, what actually you have learned?
mm.
This is a question from every human.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
need to ask questions to ourselves as well, not
Mm.
questioning the system, not questioning the society, not questioning the entire world. Is a very simple questions. Just ask yourself every day.
How do you question yourself?
I
I
do,
mean,
of course, every day.
yeah. I mean, you're telling that not questioning the system, not questioning the society. Yeah, but
System,
taking the responsibility is, how you question yourself and how
so, yeah,
you take yourself responsible and accountable for any of the act you do.
so, yeah,
And like this is
uh,
this is the responsibility. Like
yeah,
as you mentioned, hope is the one best thing which kept you moving on. And behind
so,
hope, everything is
yeah,
like, because when there's dark, the only thing
uh,
is only, like if you can see in front of you, if it's dark, everything
yeah,
you see is the dark. But like your lens, how you find that spark of hope in that, like darkest
uh,
time, it is
yeah,
basically the quality splendid human being has. And usually we don't identify hope, we don't
yeah.
recognize hope. And
Hope, yeah,
hope can be anything. It can
yeah,
come from
yeah.
anywhere.
It's energy. Yes,
Maybe
yeah,
one push is your hope, one pull is your hope, right? And sometimes
yeah,
maybe one of your friend telling you one, like one sentence can be a hope. maybe your one thought can be a hope, right? So I must
Yeah.
I must tell all women and the girls that hope is the one thing which keeps you standing up no matter what.
Going.
On, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, yes,
As
yes.
I appreciate your passion, your drive, and I've never seen you low of energy. I've always seen you full of energy, your passion, your drive. By the way, from where this energy comes from?
From you, from the other woman, from the people who appreciate you. You see, just look into positivity every time. If somebody has scolded you, if somebody has said you have not done enough, but
Mm,
believe in yourself.
mm,
Where we come from actually. It's a very
yeah,
misogynist society. Still
yeah,
today,
yeah,
we have to ask the permissions to do every action
yeah.
required and a question as
Mm,
well.
mm,
Every step you take, every move you take, every
mm, mm,
decision you take, it's always been a question behind it. And sometimes your energy gets low as well because uh, you don't have answers for everything. It's a drive in you, it's energy
mm,
in you, which you can't explain it to the other people. And all you have to do is just be surrounded by the people who encourages you. Either it's your family, is a few people, and to be very honest, I have to be very honest because I'm a nature's person. I believe in a nature cycle. Whatever happens in life is the repetitive cycle of a nature as well.
Teacher,
And
yeah.
what God has given us an opportunity. We've been brought up in the mountains where there's a beautiful nature around
Mm,
and very authentic people around as well. So in my down moments, I used to go up in the hills, in the mountains, the
wonderful.
preach and Nasi things. And there used to be a lot of shepherds with their, the goats, cows, and all that. So I used to sit with them and talk with them just to understand, what these
Wonderful.
people have been thinking, because the
Wonderful.
whole time they're being surrounded by a voiceless creatures, how they communicate with them, how they keep this herd been going on. And at one point I realized I became their best friends. I was just being addicted going
Mm,
back to them and just talking to them. And uh, that was a drive. And
right.
I think um, nature is beautiful. Authenticity around you don't find in a big universities, libraries, the most poshest drawing rooms, or the most posh hotel lobbies, or the
Yeah.
conferences room. Can be anywhere.
Yeah.
Just
Nature is the
find
solution.
few authentic examples. Yeah, just find few authentic examples, people
Mm.
around you. Just sit with them, and you get your energy back.
Yeah, I can see your excitement and I can see your energy while you were talking about the nature. And I love this. And I too,
Thank you.
in most of the interviews,
Thank
people
you.
tell me from where the energy comes from. And I tell from inside and from outside, from inside, it comes from inside and it grabs from outside to bring in,
Right.
So this kind of energy. And
Yeah.
as you mentioned that when you feel low, when you feel demotivated, it is not. We are human. We feel that because most of the times
Yeah.
we also feel challenges. And the
Yeah.
more performance you show, the more you do, the more challenges you face. I know. Um, and
Hmm.
recently I was delivering a keynote for Khan and Khan Foundation, and I've seen one of the women before my keynote, one of the women leader participant was saying that no, we don't have any challenges, and I told her that it is not like you don't have challenges. It is like
Challenge.
you are becoming challenge proof now. You practice this much, now your belief is changed, your perspective is changed, so
Yeah.
you're becoming
Yeah.
challenge proof. So it is like to be a challenge proof person, what one thing you mentioned is I truly agree and I do the same. um, People and especially women and girls, they don't take breaks, right? So I always think that to reconnect you have to disconnect. You have to go to
Yes,
nature.
yes,
You have to,
yes,
take your
yes.
own time. You have to sit with
Hmm.
your, favorite people, with your, yeah, sometimes you have to sit with strangers to learn
Yes.
differently, to
Hmm.
unburden yourself, right? So this is what, I see in you and me as the common, that we disconnect to reconnect, right? To reconnect,
Yes,
you have to
yes,
disconnect, because again, you
yes.
can join with full energy, passion, and drive. So, what is the importance of disconnect to reconnect in
Hmm.
women life? Because this is a concept every women learn, girl should learn.
Hmm.
And another question with this is, um, because Maria, I know, many of the girls and women like us, um, they, instead of taking permission, they told people that we are doing this. We have been telling people, I remember one of my friends when I was in MBA, and she was worried that, every day my mom stops me when I like seek permission. I'm going there, and she asked me, "Why are you going there?" And one day I told her, this is a tool. I told her, instead of asking, just tell your mom that I'm going there. Like, if you know you're doing that, you're not wrong. Then tell your mom that, Mom, I'm going there, and see the response. And
Yes.
he told me, today while I was getting out of the gate, I told my mom that, Mom, today we are going to Damaneko. And
Uh,
she told me that, surprisingly, my mom did not say a single word, and I just came out. And I told her,
hmm.
this is how we have to change the narrative of, seeking permissions,
Yeah.
instead of tell people, if you're right, then it's okay, go ahead. Like,
Yeah.
before everything, you have to analyze yourself whether you're doing right or wrong. If you're doing wrong, you have to stop yourself. So the one thing,
Hmm.
the question again is, what is the importance of disconnect to reconnect, for
Hmm.
women, for a
Hmm.
girl, and, for a corporate woman, for a professional women, for a girl, for a student, for a housewife, like, whatever
Hmm.
status you have in your, home, country, society. So
Yeah.
what is the importance of
Yeah.
disconnect and
And I think all of us, we have a very set pattern of a life. And that wasn't decided by us. That wasn't decided by actually our parents or our grandparents. It was being decided for humans, actually, many hundred. It is like a process of hundreds of years, where we are today. So, in the search of a civilization, or in search of a tradition, or in search of an ideology or religion, whatever you say it, and I believe in one thing, like if living in a dot-com era is a 2025. It's not a joke. It's a 21st century. After a few years of in front of us, I think the concept of a university will end, and the technology will take place. Artificial intelligence is already taking everything out. So I don't know what would be the purpose of us being left, honestly, to exist on this planet, to just be utilizing all the resources. This is what
to
I
take
ask
advantage of
my
AI.
questions myself. And yeah, so mentioning artificial intelligence, technology, and all that, the universal world, and then coming back to the society we live in. Actually, we haven't worked on the this difference of a man and a woman. First, we need to treat everybody as like a human being. This is what I believe. It's a set pattern for a man, and I have seen actually a man of our society also suffering, and
Yeah,
they are overburdened.
equally,
The
I tell you,
woman is
equally.
overburdened. So we all have to come together to work on what we want, actually, because for a woman is a set pattern. If she will go to school, she will go to the college, university, and she has to get married then, and she has to live uh, on the terms and conditions of someone else's um, terms and conditions. Her life is not her life anymore. So we need to actually a bit change that, because human, when you look at the human beings, you're a human for me. So what you want, your freedom first, our right to live is important. Then freedom of speech, expression, assembly. It's these are the universal rights which is being given by a God. If you believe in
Mm.
universe, you believe in God, or whatever
Mhm.
your belief is, it's given to you by birth. So who am I to control it? Who is this society to control it? Who is somebody to control it? And it's being controlled actually, Hina. This is the question actually. So just going back to the question you asked me now, I remember that we're coming back to the society. um uh all of us actually, we need to work uh by eliminating this a huge difference which we have created between man and the woman, because the different rules for a man, it's different rules for a woman. So in 2025, we all need to do is everybody must have a right to education. And where we come from, shukr alhamdulillah, I just say thank you to God. Actually, most of us women are educated, and recently somebody
Empowered.
said to me that according to the census, 86% of the girls under primary, they go to school, and it made me so proud, because it's just because it's a supportive family system. If they don't have a supportive, yeah, big applause to all Kashmiri parents actually, because in Sindh and Punjab, the education is free until matric, but still the challenges they have been facing, because the girls are not been joining school. So there's no support for them actually. The support comes from a home actually, the family. Whatever we are today is just because how our early childhood was, our teenage was, and in our 20s and 30s. And today is because of this process, me and Hina, so to say, exist. So it's a long process behind everyone, is a long story, long struggle. But end of the day, again, I will say, never lose hope.
Yeah, never lose hope. And if machines need fuel, if machines need power to run, we are
Yeah.
humans. We also need some fuel. We also need some power. Also need some energy, right?
Wow.
So if
Yes.
we don't refuel ourselves with the kind of energy we want, we cannot work
Mm.
properly. Yeah, and I appreciate that you mentioned
Mhm.
the society, the educated society, and Maria, most of the times I feel we people are very empowered. And I remember one of the example, one of my friend, she was earning, I think, Pakistani, um, approximately 10 lakh rupees, approximately. As she was working in an embassy, and she left job due to her husband's behavior and her
Oh.
husband's criticism. She left job in COVID. She was under depression, right? And
Mm. Mm.
because his husband was using all the money, and because he
Mm.
was criticizing and he was like all the time torturing him. So she left job.
Mm.
She left job, and she could not make a decision to carry such a good job. And meanwhile, in those days, I had a maid at my home, and she was earning just 10,000 rupees, right? By working in different homes, or she was just coming to me part time. So I asked her, where did you keep your money last month you took salary, where did you keep this money? I was just thinking, what she does, either she spends on the family or herself, or what does she do? And she said, I'm saving money, and I just spend money where I want. And I said, I was surprised, and I said, don't you spend money at your home and your kids? And she said, that's not my responsibility, that's my husband's responsibility, and he has to do. I work for myself, and I am independent to make a decision for my money. And I was
Mm.
really surprised in the way she told me. She, like, the body language she was having was quite different. And I was just thinking that empowerment is not only the money or the finance. It is at the back of mind. What
Mm.
makes you empowered is your mind. Like,
Decision making.
decision, how you take decision. If they Look, my friend could not take decision on such big money she was earning. and this lady is taking decision on 10,000 only. So this is how
Yeah.
your mind is empowered. I mentioned this example
Bilkul.
multiple times, that if you don't empower your mind, if you don't train your mind, it doesn't
Mind.
matter like how much financially independent you are. So
Yeah.
understanding the real power behind the empowerment is
Problem
your
behind
mind.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Is
is
your
not
mind. Yeah.
resources. It is just
Yes.
mind. It is something intangible,
Yeah.
and later comes and later it's supported with the tangible. Then it's okay. If you're empowered with your mind, you can take decision to make money, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
one message you want to spread around for women and girls and men, even also, they're also watching, they can maybe learn some good message from you. I'm sorry, I'm just
Um,
focusing more on women and the girls because this podcast
yeah.
is
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
for women in
Yeah.
month, and i
Yeah.
i
Yeah.
i,
Yeah.
I
I
totally
appreciate
consider for
that.
that.
Yeah. Before I just give you a message, I have a very important story to share. So, in that context, I will just give a message. Many years back, when I came back from abroad, I had an opportunity to travel towards this line of control, which is, it exists between India and Indian Kashmir and
Pakistan.
Pakistani Kashmir.
Yeah.
So somebody told me, because wherever I used to travel, I used to take coloring pencils, books. This is what I learned from my parents, that just take a little token of love for the children of those
Mm.
areas. So when I was just distributing all those things, somebody told me, I said, which school is this? Because people were talking about a school which is very far away. I said, how can it far be? They said, you can't get there. When they said you can't get there, then I said, I'm getting there. Because
I'm
if
getting
you
there.
tell me you can't do it,
If
then I have to do it. So
you're
I
challenging me,
got
yeah,
there for after,
I'll fulfill this
yeah,
challenge.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the 4 5 hours same walk to in the mountain, and it was raining constantly. So as we got there, it was an evening time, so I couldn't get to the school. Then they said you have to stay in the house. There's another day you have to hike for an hour. I said okay, no problem, I'll get there. Once I got there, Hina, I had the storybooks, I had the coloring pencils, and drawing books as well with me. When I was giving to those girls, they just didn't move. They just looked at it. All the girls, I could see that there's nothing, they just paused. Then I asked a teacher, I said, what happened to these girls? Aren't they happy to, just receive these little things? She said, they know this is yellow color, this is red color, but they have never touched coloring pencils in their life.
My God.
So that was a turning point of my life as well, because that day I decided I was a person who used to shop a lot, who had a lavish lifestyle. I said, how much it costs, just to sponsor a child with these facilities, with the uniform and nice shoes and all that. Then I calculated that. It was a turning point of my life as well, because then every time I used to go and spend some money somewhere, I used to think, oh my God, if I'm spending 20,000 rupees just dining out, I can sponsor 4 children per year. So why not just do that? It was a great motivation. This is what I always say, just keep the ehsas, the sense of taking care of other people around you. You
Empathy,
call it
yeah.
ehsas. Ehsas should be alive in you, within you. Just keep it there in your heart and in your mind. Then you will understand the other people, because what we lack in today's society is ehsas.
No doubt. No doubt. Thank you so much. This is really
Thank you.
wonderful. Like, what the message you shared is, always feel for others. If you don't have feeling for others, if you don't have empathy, you cannot do
Yeah,
anything. And
yeah,
one thing, empathy starts from within you. Sometimes,
yes.
if you're suffering yourself and you're hurting yourself and you're torturing yourself and you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of others? Right?
Mhm.
So take care of yourself first, starting from you, have this feeling for, all around, like in the people who are surrounded by you, right? Um, do contribute in their life. And thank you so much, Maria, for sharing such a lovely
Thank you.
example. And this is I must say something different. And I truly appreciate your passion, drive, and love for humanity and the way you do
Thank
for
you.
people.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. And thank you so much for precious
Thank you,
time.
Hina. It wasn't only a Maria Iqbal Tarana today in your show. It is actually I'm representing a woman of Kashmir. So
We
it's
all
my
were.
Kashmiri woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So
all
we
were here.
all Kashmiri women are like that. So all we
Mm.
need is an opportunity to raise our voice. And thank you so much to Hina Sadazai who gave us an opportunity. Thank you.
Welcome, Maria. And it is like I know about your busy schedule and you travel all the time and you're, putting up your shoes on the boundaries and your body in the immensity. So I always appreciate that, whenever we always whenever we asked for help or anything and you were always present and you were always there. I appreciate your
Pleasure.
passion, drive again, and your connectivity to the people, and for your
Thank,
the pain in your heart, um,
thank
and the love in your heart for people is like absolute, say, passion. I love this
thank
time.
you.
This was the most
Let-
beautiful time for today in Ramadan because we are recording this in
Thank
Ramadan.
you.
So, well, thank you so much for taking your time out from
Thank you.
after iftar. I know, and you're traveling. It's also, a privilege for me
Anything
that
for you
you're
and for
giving
my
it.
people.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
not me. It's for your
Have a lovely
people.
time.
Have a nice rest. Like this
Thank
is your
you.
evening, right? Okay. Have a nice evening.
Yeah.
Um, and let's
Thank
meet you
you.
with another Maria Iqbal Tarana in the next episode because this is not one Maria. This is like, these are many Marias behind this Maria. Bye bye. Take good care of yourself.
Thank
Until
you
we meet
so much.
again, take good care of yourself.
Yes,
Bye bye, Maria.
we
Thank you so
must.
much.
Thank you very much. Wish you very good luck, Hina. Thank you. Bye bye.
Happy
Thank you.
Women's
Bye.
Month.
Yes. Long live revolution.
Yeah.
Thank you.